It's definitely moments like this that remind me one big factor that plagues Boruto's manga and anime till this day, because there's no secret that Boruto's anime and manga have had one hell of a turbulent time since its inception, and of course up to the latest episodes and chapters of the anime and manga respectively. Like, there's a problem that people have had with the series, a lot of it being people want to see the old cast and the new cast and their problems, and the power scaling just doesn't measure up to a lot of the things from the previous generation. So much so that a lot of people have kind of even gotten off of the train of reading or watching Boruto. But then there's moments like, hey, we got this Sasuke manga that's going on right now. The 4th chapter of it just dropped. And when you read a chapter like that, when you look at what Sasuke's manga has done up until this point, it kind of almost makes me feel like maybe one of the flaws from Boruto is not necessarily that they didn't make a sequel about Naruto and Sasuke in general, but that there's a missing ingredient that would have kept the show going that Dragon Ball Z never abandoned. And what I'm referring to is that when the sequel starts, when you start bringing in these children, when you start bringing in the next gen cast, so to speak, when you look at it, you're essentially going a couple of different ways. Are you going to continue on with the main cast, or are they going to be completely irrelevant, or, you know, where are you going to go with all of this? And because of the fact that the Boruto anime and manga only brings them out for special occasions, the previous main cast from Naruto, it's kind of like, okay, we're left with, here's the manga of these new kids that maybe new fans that just jumped into the franchise, weren't really Naruto fans, but they jumped in for Boruto. They might be cool with it, but for the most part, a lot of people is like, sometimes, you know, you don't really care. Like, there'll be some great moments, amazing plot twists. Hell, right now, the latest chapter of Boruto, I'm still going crazy over because it was hype, but I feel like the secret ingredient that is really missing that could have kept this going, one, unfortunately, lies in the name of the series, because the fact of it being Boruto, it pigeonholes it. It pigeonholes it because if you would have just made it Naruto Hokage years, or the next generation of Naruto, because you gotta have Naruto somewhere in there. That's why the anime calls it Boruto Naruto Next Generations, to keep the Naruto in there. It's marketing. They're not gonna take it out. If they do, that's only because they've accepted that they've exhausted the franchise and they're gonna put it to bed for a time being. But if the Boruto series was simply called Naruto Shinobi Next Era, something like that, that would have way more so opened up for the possibility of it not just being the manga that we've had up until this point, but more so being an inclusive manga that would grab multiple demographics. Because imagine having this mission going on right now that's in Sasuke, where you got Sasuke and Sakura working together as adults, exploring their romantic relationship as well, all in one. It reminds me of like, damn, dog, if I had just, you know, chapters here and there of stuff like this in Boruto as well, it would just go so much for a long way of like, okay, well, when these chapters are done, okay, I'm gonna hop back and see what's going on with Boruto and Kawaki. Like, there's so many different things that can be done when you add these characters, and they don't even have to be the main primary focus. Like, the way Boruto does it is that you see them once in a while, but if they are focused in, but they're not the essential characters, it would still be fine. Like, again, if the title of this series was just a little more broad, this type of content can and would be included in all of that stuff, and it would make for older fans to be like, well, okay, I'm not the biggest fan of the, you know, stuff with Boruto, but hey, there's a crap ton of stuff with all of the cast that we love. Because fam, when I tell you, it was just a really nice breath of fresh air, but also nostalgic moment of feeling like I felt like I was reading Naruto. I felt like I was reading what would have been in another universe the continuation of Naruto with this Sasuke chapter, where you got Sasuke, first of all, him and Sakura working together as a team, Sakura having to put him down in a way because he was like, yo, dog, all right, you distract him, I'm gonna genjutsu him. And she's like, hey, you know, honey, that's cheating, relax. Like, getting to see them, okay, how do they work as now adults, you know, a married couple with a child, how do they cooperate in team efforts, and seeing Sakura going back into her connections with Tsunade, with gambling, all of those moments is like, yeah, if I was reading Naruto and this was the proper continuation, the full serialized series, this would be immensely great. Like, because this chapter, I was like, holy shit, this is so cool to see. But you always got to keep in mind that, well, technically this is a spin-off series. How canonical is it? When does it take place? And just in general, if you take this content and have it take place within Boruto, of course, connecting all the arcs and everything together, you have magic. Like, let's exclude the argument of, well, Sasuke should have been the continuation to begin with anyway. Let's say it still technically has a lot of emphasis on everything we got with Boruto, because, again, there's been a lot of fire with Boruto, too. I ain't trying to, shit on what's been great from it. But you add in the importance of these characters, too, where it's a crossbreed. Now you have a lot to play with and work with and not have to feel like, well, it's technically Boruto, dog. What are we doing here? And again, I'm just reminded with so many of these events of like, dog, this should have been in Boruto itself and it should have been a part of the plot. Like, if you crossbreed a lot of the stuff from Sasuke already, some of the concepts of like the Naruto having a sickness and Sasuke being off on missions, and if you just crossbreed some of these elements, imagine, like, instead of Naruto losing Kurama and that was the debuff, so to speak, Naruto is sick and dying being the thing that takes him out of the game and allowing for the next generation to take over in that fashion. That would have been more preferred than the whole, teasing at first in the first episode and chapter that I'm gonna send you the way of the seventh, implying that Naruto is dead or sent somewhere or something bad has happened to Naruto. Like, you switch that and no, Naruto's really sick and dying. He can't really throw hands. Boom. You clear that area, but you could still make Naruto a central focus point of the story and also have Sasuke and Sakura and everybody else involved, because now that's a priority. And then at the same time, you have all this fantastical Otsutsuki stuff going on. Like, there's just so much more that could have been played with if you combine these elements. Because I absolutely adored and really appreciated seeing the scene where Sasuke and Sakura in the latest chapter of Sasuke, chapter 4, where he gives her a ring because he doesn't want anybody to think that she's single. Like, that is character growth, and that is something that comes so far from the very beginning of the series and feels like if this was just, again, Naruto X, the next gen, something like that, you would be like, this is perfectly placed, and oh my god, it's so cool to see these characters. Probably 800-900 chapters it would have been at this point if it was weekly. Like, oh, this is growth, this is character development, and stuff that I feel deserves to be showcased in the main series. Not even gonna lie, this chapter was probably one of the most attractive Sakura chapters in the existence of this series thus far, because when she was there, taking off the whole lab coat and their little attempt at getting the information from that guy from gambling and whatnot, I was like, yo, this is really the fruits of Tsunade's labor of training this girl. And then connecting it back to Tsunade, it was just so many moments that I'm like, bro, Sasuke's story is what's missing from Boruto. You add all of this as like a separate thing that intertwines with the missions itself, you have gold right here. But I don't want to cry over spilled milk. I mean, I do want to say, as far as Sasuke goes on its own, yet again, another fantastic chapter with chapter 4. It was freaking the second biggest manga for damn near a month straight. Absolutely amazing. And definitely why I also say that some of the Sasuke stuff could have been the elements that was used in the plot of Boruto, where, hey, this is how you want to get them out of commission, get them out of the main story, but you can still keep them relevant. Like, hey, Naruto can't help because he's, sick or whatnot, but let's see some other problems that he's facing. Maybe the people of Konoha is doubting his leadership. Hey, Sasuke can't help because he's off trying to find this cure for Naruto. Well, let's see some of his battles and some of his trials and tribulations rerunning into Orochimaru. Like, all of that is fire. Or hell, you just take the arc as it is right now in Sasuke, where he's in a freaking prison and working together with Sakura. Let me know what you guys think. Do you feel like Sasuke is the missing ingredient? And I'm talking about the series that we have right here. All of these elements are the missing ingredients that would have made the Boruto series a more complete package to cater to not only newbies, but also the old fandom alike, and it would have changed the narrative. Or nah, not even all of these really cool Sasuke elements, and focusing in on not only the children, but also the adults and their situations as a main focal point of the story just would have been a hell of a lot better. Your overall thoughts and expectations for the future of Sasuke and Boruto, why not? I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. Subscribe and hit that bell to get more.